Hello, Gary Champion, Psychic Medium once again with a message I hope that helps. I just got this from the other side. My videos are made from things I hear, so I'm sitting here thinking and they give me something. Uh, the confusion that surrounds us, um, they're saying, is created by the world changing around us all the time. Everything's changing. We're evolving into this, or, I got headsets with microphones and all this, and we don't our psyche can't keep up with the change. So there's confusion. Most of us don't adapt that quick. The world right now, in the last 6 months or 2 or 3 years, has changed so fast that we can't keep up with the what we feel we need to know. We not we're what we're getting is propaganda. We're not getting real. Nothing's real anymore. That's part of it. Is people keep repeating the same sayings. Do this, do that, and it becomes a blur, a political, it becomes a political blurb, which they hope effectively states what they're trying to do, which it doesn't. The guys have been around here all week putting things on the door and trying to get your attention about their political candidate. They've come through the neighborhood. And I don't think they get that it just annoys people. Uh, Most people have made up their mind who they're going to vote for. Hell, it's not till a couple of years from now, but they pretty much already made their mind up, which is not good, which is what I'm talking about. That these guys are coming at us, and part of it is that they don't stay true to what they say they're going to do. They say one thing, and that's their mantra, and all of a sudden, ooh, we better not do that. And they're telling me what to say. I'm not. This isn't coming from me. But abortion's a good thing. Politician has built his whole career on saying he's against abortion, and that's not working out too well right now. The world shifted on the world scene. You've got 2 billion angry women, which is never good. And they're going to lose votes. They're going to lose their little whatever they are in the Congress or House of Representatives. They're going to lose their big ticket item, their free lunch, their house of the pool. They got to own a house in D.C. and now they own one wherever they live, wherever they're from. They won't be able to sustain all the college tuition. It's a big. Ooh, they want another orb. I must be saying something good. Anyway, politicians are like doors. They open and close. You never know what you're going to get. What's going to come out of that door? And that they do polling all the time. I get phone calls. Who would you vote for? Blah blah blah. What are the things that you're interested in the world, in the country? What are you interested in? What is the economy more important? Is abortion important? Is the ecology important? Yeah, well, it's all those things to me. And the candidates that I mean, of course, we're taking. They never do what they say they're going to do anyway. They get in there and then they'll say, "Oh, I'm for abortion's rights. I want pro-choice. You make it." And then they get in there and they vote the opposite because once they're in there, you can't get them out. They're in there for a while, and they're willing to take that chance that you won't remember what they said back then. That this is their new thing. So you're going to see a lot of politicians around the country who are staunchly anti-abortion. Their votes are falling apart. That's why there's another one. Boy, that's why they're changing horses in mid-stride because they want to be elected. They want that golden opportunity to be at the top of the pyramid. It's not about you or me. If it were, they wouldn't be so stupid. Anyway, you're going to see a lot of politicians changing what they profess, and of course now they're playing back those things. Well, back in 2020, you said this, and now it's not popular, so you've changed to this. Well, we've reevaluated our position and blah blah. They blow like the wind. Whichever whichever will get them votes is what they're going to profess. So Republicans are saying we're anti-abortion, which they've always been since I can remember, are now saying, well, we can adjust that. We can, oh, no exceptions for incest or rape. We're not going to, no, we're not going to do that. Now, okay, well, incest and rape, maybe that's just something, you see what I mean? It's, you can't trust them. If their mouths are moving, they're lying. So anyway, that's what I'm supposed to talk about today is it's all too confusing and our brains aren't intended for that, I don't think. I think we we grow up and we learn and we get to a certain point of maturity and we just stop there. We don't grow and learn like we did when we were younger. Our brains are not elastic. Believe it or not, your brain is elastic. When you're young, you can learn almost anything. You get to my age, I have to work at it. And everything's spinning around so fast, and our inability to catch up with it is where the confusion is. My guys are saying, wait until the confusion goes away before you make a major decision. If you're having second thoughts about who you're dating, who you're married to, the house you're living in, what you're doing for a living, wait until the smoke clears. Wait until you feel that you've attained a certain amount of knowledge necessary for you to make that decision. Growing up, we didn't have computers. Now everybody Googles everything, uh, which is good, but in the beginning of the internet, it was good because everything was truthful. There weren't a lot of lies. There weren't anybody putting out viruses that would chew up your computer. When that came in, everything changed. Now we got to have antivirus. Now we got, but most of what you hear on the internet's a lie, except of course what I'm saying. My truth is a different kind of truth. It doesn't come from me. It comes from the other side. So invest in yourself. Learn what's necessary to feel like you've got a pretty good bead on things. I think I understand this now, so I can make a decision. I'm going to move here. I'm going to take this job. I'm going to have one more child. I'm going to, I don't know, whatever is distressing and confusing. You can't make a decision in a confused state. Wait until the confusion is over. You've attained a certain amount of knowledge that your decision will be a good one, and then make that decision. I could delve into something else here. Maybe I should. Whew, trying to make it short. A year ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. I was going to blurt it out. And their first thing was I needed to take chemo. Chemo was it. Well, of course, there's a lot of money in chemo. They love chemo. That's the first words out of their mouth. And my wife and I thought about it. Of course, immediately I had a psychic medium understanding that it wasn't something I should do. They didn't like that answer. They wanted the full tilt. We'll do. And then they said this was a killer on it. They said now you've got to do chemo until you die. That for the rest of your life you've got to do chemo. I said, I'm not doing that. So as a team, we got together and thought about it. My wife and I. And we began juicing. We began eating a perfect diet. I began exercising, doubled my exercise. Some days triple it. Um, all these things that I felt would work. And my wife has talked to a lot of people, and this is an alternative medicine thing. And self healing. I do self healing every morning, every afternoon. I did begin to, just feel better. And we refused chemo, which upset them to no end because that's where the money's at, folks. And I don't have my wristbands anymore. I think I cut them off downstairs. Don't you love it when a guy's talking about something he just goes off like me? Anyway, went to the hospital this morning, and it's been a full year. I didn't tell anybody because I didn't figure it was anybody's business, but through the self healing, the juicing, and a lot of alternative medicine, I must say. We're off the books on a lot of this stuff. And self healing twice a day, and had some tests run this morning, and I don't have cancer. It's gone away. So intuitively, I knew I didn't want to do chemo, but they hammer at you, thus creating confusion. Oh, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. And the ender for me was when they said, and bring your was that financial advisor to the meeting because you're probably going to have to sacrifice your house. I said, I'm not feeling I need chemo. This confusion for me ended when they let me know it was all about money. They didn't talk about curing anything because this stuff doesn't cure anything. You last a little longer. If it comes back, you're dead. So what was the point? And I know people who have gotten cancer, took chemo, took the advice because that's the stuff they put out there. They're building that building off of that. You ever seen anybody get chemo? I did a bunch of times. I just go in the room and watch them, and they're hooked up to something, and they're in pain, and they're knotted up in a chair in a ball. It's just so painful. Anyway, my decision right away was I didn't want to do it. I wasn't going to do it. That I'd survive based on what I know. Uh, did the self healing. Uh, Everything got good, and so now I don't have it. Good to go. So I waited until the confusion had passed as to what they were, because the world comes at you like this. Ooh, that looks good. The world comes at you like that. It doesn't kind of, oh, Mr. Champion, you should do this. No, it's blaring, blaring. Take chemo, uh, sell your house. And I had a feeling that I didn't have cancer. I'm not sure if I ever did. There's the weird part of it, because you're not a doctor. And I must say, I had wonderful doctors and I had wonderful nurses. It's not that part of the hospital that bothers you, it's the people that were running things because they've got budgets. They get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to administer these drugs and make money. There's your money maker right there. So life is like a box of chocolates. No, life is confusing. And the confusion of it is that if you let other people bum rush you into something, you can end up dead. No, there's no good ending to that. If you take the time to decide for yourself, your inner feelings will tell you a lot of things. Should I do this? Shouldn't I do that? Should I wait? Maybe I don't need a new car this year. Maybe 2, 3 years from now. Blah blah blah. Maybe I should, whatever in your life. This isn't working. I should move on from it. But the world comes at you it's so fast now. And when I was a kid, it didn't. Things didn't change. Things didn't change fast at all. Television didn't exist, or it existed. We didn't have one. Uh, but that's how old I am. I've lived it. I've seen it from. You wait all day to watch one show on television at night because that's all there was. You got um, you got a kids show in the morning. In the afternoon, you got a Queen for a Day, which is a soap opera, and then at night there might be a program. That was it. So there wasn't, and the news was balanced. The newsmen wouldn't lie to you. Their reputations were based on truth. It's not that way anymore. The world's based on the biggest soundbite, the most, which is why all that stuff is on television. They want to get that camera in there while that guy's dying and get his last words. Life's become a comedy. Don't get sucked into it. Don't get sucked into it. It's a tragedy and a comedy all at the same time. If you look at it from my point of view, it's silly. If you're standing there, it's a tragedy. So take the time, invest the time to research, and don't believe everything you hear. Do a lot of internal stuff, which is everything I do is I hear it, which is why I'm doing this video. Hopefully to um, dissuade you from making quick moves in a contentious situation. Wait till the dust settles. Wait. You don't want to go driving in the fog. You want to wait till the fog lifts and everything's clear. You can see down there. You can see what's going on. Then you drive or walk or whatever you do. Uh, you could end up hurting yourself. Do you think they care? No, no. They got the money. They're gone. You're in the Bahamas in the sun and you're homeless. So making rational decisions is hard in a confusing time. That's all they're saying. Take your time, know as much as you can, second opinions, and then make the best possible decision for you, and you'll have fewer of these things. Because we sat in that office and they, okay, sign here. Wait a minute. I don't think I want to do that. Oh, you're gonna die. You're gonna die if you don't take this chemo. Turns out they were wrong. A year later, nothing. Clean. My wife is relieved. So Peanut is guaranteed he's going to get his kibble. And of course, I'm happy because it gives me an opportunity to do more of what I do, try and help people in the best way I can. So, as always, no fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching. And nothing's working. There we go.